Dangerously beautiful. I'll tell you what, I'll write you a little story, and by the end of it you may be able to make the right decision for yourself. At the time he said this to her, he actually thought it would be so easy. After all, manifesting a little story is one of the things that came naturally to him. But this was different. This would contain, no, must contain, no matter how he masked it through the art of fiction, an undeniable truth about himself which dwelt deep down in the pit of his soul. Truth is a curse, and his curse could not be broken by elaborate rituals or prayers of the ancients, or even by the great minds of science today. They were on the subject of fire being a dangerously beautiful force. She was the one who called it dangerously beautiful, and those two words cut his tongue out and set his mind sailing away to a place where myths were born. Something flashed, and in an instant he saw parts of a legend where a warrior, born of fire, who took an oath of solitude, met a pixie goddess who made him question the oath he made. She wished to know why the fire warrior that brought warmth and light was also a dangerous entity, and furthermore, why she felt like jumping into the beauty despite its danger. The myth had all the character archetypes in their proper roles laid down by Jung and tapped into by all writers of the human condition. There was the threshold guardian, the trickster, the herald, the shadow figure, the shapeshifter, the mentor, the higher self, all emanating from the hero, the flawed warrior. The myth juggled our hero's unconscious and conscious desires all the way until the climax, where he had to choose either the conscious goal or his unconscious goal to live with. But the one who promised to tell this tale was stuck in the cave scene himself, not knowing how to get the hero to slay the dragon and behold the glory. All he has to do is follow the map that was given to him by his own mentor, and get our hero to seize the sword, or possibly the pen, bring down the mighty dragon of his deepest fears, break out of the cave, be resurrected and on the journey home with the elixir of life, the code of life, the essence of being. This is the way myths unfold. This is the way we as humans fight through each and every dilemma, in a day or a lifetime. The process of learning about ourselves. But to learn about ourselves, we must ask, and we absolutely must answer the unanswerable question. Who am I? Answer it, or die trying. So who am I? Why am I rambling on about story structure and character archetypes? Why am I trying to twist truth into fiction only to reveal a truth in the first place? Why not just say what needs to be said? I suppose I am trying to convince you or myself that there is much more to me than blurting out the curse that plagues my every cell, because I don't want to believe it myself. Why am I even writing this? Why don't I disappear again and keep my mystery and your admiration of me intact? It would be much easier. These are questions I have to answer, to admit, and you deserve to know my intentions, if that's what they are. Truthfully, am I dangerous? Depends on how you perceive me and deal with your own questions. I know you are torn already. You have said so yourself. So I'm going to do the best I can and save you from reading a myth created just to have you figure it out like some riddle. There are parts that actually are very easy to admit. I admit without a doubt that I want to love you. I want you to fall madly in love with me, and I would take any chance I get to make that happen. That's my emotional attachment. I can't help it. Mentally, I want to know more and more about you, which would, of course, intensify the emotional state of falling in love with you. I know you are amazing, beautiful, and would only keep surprising me with your perfect goddess-like nature. I don't think I can get to know you without falling further down the abyss with you. Spiritually, well, my spirituality lies in art, music, writing, laughter, and romance. 4 out of 5 of those things are easily rendered. The 5th thing, not so much. I want to embrace whatever spirituality you are willing to share. Physically, I want you, plain and simple. I want you pressed against me. I want to admire that sparkle in your eyes forever. I want to kiss you until you are drowning in 1,000 kisses deep. I want to study your soft lips with mine. I want to make love to you over and over again. I want to love you. Am I dangerous? Knowing you have a life that does not easily warrant someone with these feelings, I would say that I am dangerous to you, and even more to myself probably. I thought I didn't have anything to lose, but I do. I have all that I've written above to lose. Is all this what's supposed to make an easier decision for you? Most likely not, and I'm sorry if I made it harder. Now we have the curse to explain. What if we were in some magical time where fairies, warriors, and magic flourished? What if the fairy goddess was married to a king, had a prince in the crib, and was living in the ordinary world? What if the warrior who had conquered the dark depths of despair and fought the mighty dragon in a distant land came back to the ordinary world tainted, somehow with a curse from the dark past? What if when he showed up the fairy goddess could not resist him, and he could not resist her? But he had to tell her how he was cursed, and if she laid in his bed, the curse could, though not likely due to a magic potion he took, become her curse. And what if this fairy goddess went to see the oracle, and found out that it is safe to lay in the warrior's arms, and let him put his lips over hers? But if they were to unite and become one, they would need a sort of protective force field between them. What then? What would our heroine do? What would our hero do? The fact is, as much as I hate to admit, we don't live in magical times of fairies and dragons. The world we live in has different words for the curse of our warrior, but those words are too hard to say. They seem to take away all that is within him, and paint a picture that many would judge from afar, never wanting to get close enough to see the fine detail in the artist's brushwork. I said I wouldn't make you solve riddles, but it seems that's what you'll have to do. I don't have it in me to say the real words, or my pride won't allow me. I think it is pretty obvious the way I'm trying to say it. I will not blame you if you decide that you are better off never hearing of me again. If you come back to me with questions and attempt to find out more about me, then I will have to assume part of you can't let go still. And like I said earlier, I will take any chance I get to know more about my feelings for you. If you decide that I truly am dangerous to you, you can tell me by ignoring me. I don't know that I can take the rejection through words. It's much better through action. There really is no sense in tormenting ourselves more and more over time if it is something that shouldn't be. And what could it be? It could be dangerous. It could be beautiful. It could be dangerously beautiful. For how long? For how far? For what price? All stories, no matter how little, have a beginning, a middle, and an end. Hemingway was able to write a whole story in just 6 words. Very touching story, I might add. And I probably could too, but I'm floundering around with these letters, making up longer and longer sentences, only to prolong the agony. I don't know the ending of this one. I know the beginning, and I'm pretty sure I'm stuck in the end of Act 2. I could hope and dream and wish my way through the ending, but it really isn't up to me to write. For I would write about triumph and love and all the things that make a fairy tale have a happy ending, and our warrior would have his muse to cherish in all his days and nights. But, again, it is not really up to me to write the ending of this one. I'm sorry if my writing was all over the place, narrating in first person and third person at different times. I don't have the energy right now to go and rewrite it. Love always, Finn.